My name's Moose. Welcome to another episode of Airguns of Michigan. And today I'm going to talk about a little something different. Not out of the realm, but I want to talk to you guys about optics. And this is something that I see all the time. I mean, every day that I'm in Facebook groups or on forums, we hear the same repetitive question. What kind of optic should I put on this gun? What kind of optic should I put on that gun? And the thing is that the majority of people that are going to answer those questions only know about one or maybe two different types of scopes, right? Because it's either a scope that they use and it's the only one that they use, or it's something that they've maybe had like a really cheap scope and then they get their first middle of the road scope and then they just assume that everybody in the world is going to love that scope or want that scope just the same. And the biggest problem is that everybody's a little bit different. I own everything from very inexpensive scopes to about the $500 price range. The most expensive scope that I personally own is an Element Helix first focal plane scope. Is it a nice scope? Yes, it is a nice scope. Does it need a little bit of work in some areas, in my opinion? Yes, it does. But it's still a very nice optic. I own another one. I own an Optison, and it's a second focal plane scope, but it's very, very clear. But the problem is that a lot of people can't go out and spend that $400 to $500 price point for an optic, especially when, they just went out and spent oodles of money on a very expensive air gun. As we know, some of the higher end guns can become very expensive. Now, I don't know your current financial situation and I don't claim to, but here's what I want to say to the masses. There are some very, very nice optics out there that do not cost $500. They don't cost $400. Most of them don't even cost $300. And I've made it kind of a chore of mine to go out and try to find the best optic that I can for a very, very reasonable price. If you guys have followed my channel, you've heard me talk about Monstrum Tactical scopes. I have a few of the Monstrum Alpha series. They are 6 to 24 by 50. They are first focal plane, and they are exceptionally clear glass for what they are. As a matter of fact, they're exceptionally clear glass for even much higher price point scopes. So today I actually want to talk to you guys about a new Monstrum that I picked up. And full disclosure, Monstrum did send me this scope. I'm not going to review this scope based on the fact that they gave it to me. I'm going to base this on the fact that I want to give you guys the truth. And if you guys think for a second that I don't just speak the truth, go check out some of my other videos, because you'll hear a lot of times that I'm very disappointed in products that I would expect higher quality out of. This Monstrum is the G3 6 to 24 by 50 first focal plane scope with illuminated reticle. You guys can see the reticle picture there. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Bring it in a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see the reticle on that box. If not, I am going to be putting some pictures from the Monstrum website in the beginning of this video, so you guys will actually be able to see. Well, if you're watching here, you've already seen the reticle. But honestly, I think right now these are going for about $250 on Amazon. If they're not that price on Amazon, you could certainly go to monstrumtactical.com. Check them out. This is their G3 series. They actually also make a line of second focal plane scopes if that's what you're into. But for precision long range shooting, I prefer a first focal plane scope. So with that being said, let me show you mine. And I do have it actually mounted on my FX Wildcat Mark III Compact. I also have the Texcam scope on here, which I probably should have removed beforehand, but let me see if I can just pull this off real quick, and we'll get it out of the way. Sorry about that, but you know, it's real life. Things happen. So, all right, there's our optic there. It does come with a set of caps, and they're okay. I mean, they're not the greatest quality, but they're not terrible either. This is the one for the front part of the scope, and you know, I mean, it's kind of cheap, but hey, it comes with it. It does come with a set of Picatinny mounts with it as well. This is actually the Monstrum cantilever mount, which is made for this particular scope. This isn't going to be something that's going to be easily used on a air gun that has a magazine underneath the scope, just because there's really no clearance, right? So just be warned, if you guys want a cantilever, it's better to mount this onto an air gun that actually has a raised Picatinny rail and your magazine loads somewhere else. The eye focus is very smooth. You know, I mean, everybody goes, oh, I can hear grittiness. And I mean, you know what I hear? I hear a bunch of sticky stuff kind of gooping around as I turn that. So I don't really hear the stickiness. The turrets are relatively sure of themselves. You know, I mean, they're ever so slightly spongy, but I mean, really, for $250, you are not going to find a better optic, in my opinion, let alone a better turret. They do lock only by pushing them down. So, you know, obviously, you know, they just turn. I do not, and I'll show you guys, grab a screwdriver here. These are removable to reset your zero once you zero in your optic. But underneath these, and they do have O-rings in them as well. But underneath that, there is no zero stop, as you guys can see. It's just a free spinning turret. So don't expect to find that locking zero stop. You know, it is what it is. So anyway, this is an illuminated reticle as well. And let me turn this a little bit this way. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. There's actually two wheels on this side. One is for your parallax, and it spins extremely smoothly. There is a company out there that actually makes a side wheel for this optic, and I've only found one company that does, and I don't remember the name of them, but it is an aluminum side wheel, and they run about $100. But the illuminated reticle on this thing is just outstanding. I mean, it is so great that, I mean, honestly, listen, you know, we've all dealt with optics, and I can tell you that this thing is 100% solid as a rock. And these illuminated reticles on this thing are just outstanding. They really, really, truly are. It's a beautiful reticle, and in my opinion, and it's not a dirty reticle. It is basically a set of crosshairs with a dot in the middle, and you know, just a little bit of hold under above it. So it's not a complete set of crosshairs. It kind of sits about like yay. Once again, refer to the picture in the beginning of the video. The best part about this first focal plane, because this is the problem that I hear from people that shoot first focal planes or don't really care for them. A lot of people will say, well, you know, as I'm looking through the scope and I start to go up in power, by the time I hit like 10 or so, I'm starting to lose reticle. Well, in this case, this is a 24 power scope, and at right about 23 power, I can still see the entire reticle inside this optic. Absolutely, 100% see the entire reticle. So that's a huge plus. And, you know, and honestly, I'm shooting right around 10 to 15 power at most. You know, that's perfect for me. You know, maybe 16 power, but that's kind of an oddity. I generally try to keep it a little bit smaller. Every once in a while, I'll shoot at 6 power. You know, like if I'm out, you know, squirrel hunting with this gun, because this is my squirrel gun. I will leave it at about 6 to 8 power, just so I have a wider field of view. But even then, you know, and out in the woods, you know, just giving that reticle just a little bit of a light up. It actually comes all the way around to 11. So it's got 11 different reticle brightnesses on it. It is all red. There is no green, but it's extremely vibrant. It's easy to see. It's got a great eye relief on it. And honestly, you know, even with the Alpha series, which the major difference between the Alpha series and this series is that the Alpha does not have illuminated reticle. But you're talking $140 to $160 for a first focal plane that's solid as a rock. I will be doing a review on the Alpha series as well. But listen, air gunners, seriously, you will not regret picking up one of these optics. For those of you that follow me a lot, and those of you that follow me on Instagram Live, you have seen me talk about these scopes. Many of you have actually went out and purchased them, and I have yet to have one of my viewers come back and say, dude, that thing is junk. It is not. I have done the, as Cyclops Joe calls it, done the nipple twister, where I've drugged this thing through the dirt, brought it back to zero, and wouldn't you know it, dead on again. Every single time. I do have video footage of the Alpha doing that, so once I go to, you know, put that video out, you'll be able to see it on the Alpha. But I assure you, there is nothing that you're going to do to this optic by twisting it around and bringing it in that's going to throw it off of zero. At least not that I have found, in my opinion. There is one slight downfall to this optic. It is just a 2-year warranty. However, I have found that honestly, you know, for this price point, and most of us take very good care of our air guns, you know, it's not to be concerned about. I've had one of my Alphas for, I don't even remember how long now, but I have literally dropped that gun. As a matter of fact, this optic has been dropped with this gun. It was sitting on a bag on my bench. My son came over and bumped the table, and the gun took a spill to the floor. Sure enough, dead on still, didn't adjust or have any impact on it. The other cool thing is it does come with this honeycomb shade over the front. If you guys can see that, let me see. Yep, you guys can see that. That's a honeycomb shade, and it comes with the optic as well. So really, for $250, you're getting a set of mounts, you're getting a quality first focal plane scope, you're getting, you know, covers, you're getting a honeycomb shield in the front to block the sun. And especially if you guys are really like small gamers, I mean, this scope, it does weigh a little bit, and that's why I have it on this compact. But overall, I don't mind a little bit of weight to my gun. My gun also has a single point sling on it, so, you know, it's not like I'm carrying it in my hands. It's just hanging around my, you know, shoulder. But outside of that, this is the Monstrum Tactical 6-24 by 50 first focal plane scope. I'm Moose. This is Airguns of Michigan. And trust me when I say you can't go wrong with this optic. I am not an affiliate yet with Monstrum, so I don't have any real links other than the fact that you can go to monstrumtactical.com and have one shipped directly to you, or you can go out to amazon.com, who ships them from Monstrum themselves. So I think Monstrum even has free shipping, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. I can't recall. But, you know, either way, there it is. The Monstrum Tactical 6-24 by 50 first focal plane scope. And in Moose's opinion, this is definitely a 9 out of a 10. So with that being said, And honestly, the only reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 is because I thought you guys would think I'd be full of crap if I said 10 out of 10. You know, honestly, I mean, even the magnification wheel is just butter smooth. Honestly, I don't think you could go wrong with this scope. So check them out, monstrumtactical.com. I'm Moose. Take care. Airguns of Michigan.